Okay, good day, viewers. We want to discuss on transportation. As you can see, the transportation is one of the aid to trade, as we all know. And transportation can be defined as a means of conveying goods and people from one particular place to another. Transportation could be within the home, can extend beyond the home to the foreign. It means that transportation means taking the goods from a particular location to another. Then once we understand what we mean by movement of goods or movement of people, which refers to the transportation, we want to look at the importance of transportation. Why are we discussing on this transportation? We know generally all over the world, transportation aids the commerce to be able to move at a wide range. As a result of that, to cover a long distance, we know that transportation will be of help. Then we want to look at one of the importance here, which is for industrial purposes. We know that our industry, they are into conversion of raw materials to another. We want to talk about the chemicals, we want to talk about the textile. They are using a lot of things to bring things together in order for them to project that product for the people to be able to know about it. Transportation aids their work for them to have access to it. Then we also have another importance, which is to bring consumer good closer to the people. That is, consumer needs their product. Transportation help them to be able to bring it to them. Then we also have another information which is under the importance of transportation, which is to facilitate the movement of the people. We know that people can live in a rural area and be working in an urban area. Transportation help them, and that is why we have various means of transportation. In Nigeria here, we have tricycling, which is what we call keke. We have okada, which we know is bike. We also have bus. We have Uber, which is modern ones that we are taking from one place to another. It's a means of transportation. Types of it, we have transportation by land. And that transportation by land refers to the movement of goods and passengers on land. And that the land is divided into two. We have by train and we have by road. The movement of goods from one place to another can be moved through the train. When we have the bulky goods, you have heavy goods that I need to take from one particular to another. You can use the means of the rail transportation, which are the bodies as known as railway. They are the one helping us to carry some heavy goods from one particular location. And the advantages of it links the one city to the another city. So it helps our goods to be able to move. Then we also have the transportation by air. And the transportation by air is another means of types of transportation. When we have a fragile goods that we need to carry from one particular place to another. And we know when we are talking about the transportation by air, is the fastest means of transportation. It aids information, it aids our goods to quickly to reach wherever we are intent to send our goods. And that is why the transportation by air is also one of the types of transportation. That is, when we are talking about air, we are referring to the sky, where the odor will not be able to affect the movement of the goods and the passenger. Then we also have transportation by water. It's another means that we can convey the goods and the passenger. In most cases in this country, we have some area like a river state, we have some areas like a Lagos state, whereby we have the mainland and highland, which people need to connect to each other. So we use the water transportation, which means we have the means like a boat, we have ferry, we have canoe, which you can be able to use. Depends on the capacity of the people that can be able to get access to that the materials for them to be able to move from one place to another. Then the last one is a pipeline transportation. It's a modern means of transportation whereby the industrial, the government that are in a very capital market, capital business, they are using to transfer the goods from one particular to another. For example, the goods that are toxic, that are very dangerous, not be easily conveyed by tanker, can be like our crude oil are being taken from Port Harcourt down to Lagos to Ibadan and to some respective places where they can convey our crude oil from the where they convert the product into the finished goods to the where the people are really need of those products. I want us to quickly look at the two questions here under this particular transportation. We have the transportation, retailing, warehouse industry rely heavily on that. The information here, we have some information by banking, insurance, manufacturing, railway. But when we look at it, transportation, retailing, and warehousing industry, they are relying on manufacturing, because it's a manufacturing are the one when you bring in the raw materials to the or semi finished products. Is a manufacturing company that helps to convert those semi finished goods into the final product before the transportation can easily to take it to wherever the people are desire for it. And I want us to also look at one of the major questions here. Say one of the major disadvantages of pipeline, which is one of the types of transportation, is that we have that high maintenance cost, high cost of construction, we have limitation of scope, and we have vulnerability of climate change, which is correct answer is what? High cost of construction. And that is why transportation by pipeline does not link to all the 36 states that we have in Nigeria.